And speaking of Washington, Dateline Washington, Wednesday, 21 May. In a story that serves as a powerful reminder that 1. Trump 2.0 is way more awesome than Trump 1.0 was, and 2. We should never forget to celebrate every moment of Trump 2.0. In fact, we should celebrate it just as hard as Nancy Mace celebrates her own titty pics. President Trump, he just made a damned fool out of the president of South Africa the other day because the dude damn well asked for it. Because, let's call things what they are here. Your mainstream fake news media want you to believe that your president is some sort of unhinged maniac who ambushes foreign leaders in the Oval Office for no better reason than because he's an authoritarian oligarch autocrat or something. I don't know what any of those words mean, but I know they're bad. And that's all that matters. No, of course it's not true. If you don't insult President Trump's intelligence, and by extension, the intelligence of the American people, if you don't look President Trump right in the eye and make representations that the both of you know to be false, then President Trump will be happy to treat you with all of the pomp and circumstance and dignity and courtesy that your station befits. But if you do lie to us, if you do insult our intelligence, if you do make representations that are demonstrably false in full view of the world press, and you think you can just smile and grin for a few minutes and get away with it scot-free, well, in case you hadn't heard, there's been a change in management recently. We have swapped out the semi-animated cadaver, the guy who looks like a half-melted wax mannequin, and we have replaced him with a real man and a real leader, who doesn't look kindly on you sitting there in our executive mansion insulting our people's intelligence. In fact, he doesn't like that one little bit. So if you do come here and you do try to play us like that, well, our president will bring the receipts on your ass and he will make you sit there squirming uncomfortably until he is damn good and finished reading them all out, each and every one. And he may dim the lights and play a video that exposes the bald-faced lies that you just tried to tell approximately 30 seconds ago. I'm just saying, President Ramaphosa, may I call you Cyril? I find it difficult to believe you came here thinking you could deal with President Trump in the same way that you used to deal with the corpse of Joe Biden. I find it difficult to believe you came here thinking you could hand-wave away the human rights abuses of your own regime by just flatly denying that any of it was really real. But you know what I think your fatal mistake was? I think you came here thinking that because you had the support of our corporate fake news media, that they would just smooth the whole thing over and make you look good, and that would be all that mattered. You didn't expect to have any receipts thrown in your face, and I think perhaps most crucially of all, you don't have any appreciation of the extent to which our fake news media have long since lost their ability to shape public opinion in any meaningful way. I think you imagine that things are the same way in America that they are in your area of the world, that most people believe the regime media, even when the regime media stand in opposition to the current president. I mean, after all, we've seen numerous cases of corrupt regime media bringing down duly elected chief executives in the last half-century. We had Richard Nixon here in the United States, Vicente Fox in Mexico, Jair Bolsonaro in Brazil, Imran Khan in Pakistan. The only scalp those forces have failed to take, having tried their very, very best, despite having tried harder for longer than they ever tried to do a thing before, is the scalp of President Donald Trump. Though they did manage to shoot off a little bit of his ear, so I guess that's something. And maybe President Ramaphosa just hasn't gotten the memo yet that the old world has come and gone and he is living in an altogether different one now. A world where you can't just smile awkwardly and make some half-hearted assurances and have everything go on just as it went on before. A world where, if you're going into a meeting with the U.S. president, you can expect him to bring the receipts and not be bashful about waving them around. A world where, if you're engaged in human rights abuses, you will find no shelter in institutional norms or diplomatic protocol. You will be called out on it publicly, as well you ought to be. It is called the bully pulpit. Our president understands what it is and how to use it, and if you stand in opposition to the cause of peace and justice in the world, he will not hesitate to use it on you. So what you gonna do when Trump-amagamania runs wild on you, brother dude Jack?